Hello, it's Friday the 12th of August 2016 and it is a week to go until the first TF Nation UK Transformers Convention to be held at Birmingham, the Hilton Metropon Hotel near the airport. And well, yeah, as of today things will be kicking off this time next week, so less than a week to go until the start of festivities. So here then is my obligatory pre-convention video. Obviously this year, now that auto assembly has passed on and the new torchbearers have come up with TF Nation, it's going to be TF Nation. But I thought I'd put my auto assembly t-shirt on from last year. Yep, there it is. Right. What to talk about? Yeah, I'm going to get straight to it. I've got a bit of a bombshell to drop in my TF Nation pre-TF Nation video, and that is I'm going to be a dealer. Yes, I am going to be a dealer. How am I going to be a dealer? Well, it's quite an interesting story. I'll try to go over it as quickly as possible. Last year I went to the Birmingham NEC toy fairs, and I met this guy called Tom Henson, and he was selling bots on tables at the NEC, and I went to all the NEC toy fairs last year, all 4 of them, and I got a good rapport going with this guy, and got his contact details, and bought a few bits off him. Anyway, beginning of this year, obviously I changed my bot buying strategy. I wasn't going to go to the NEC toy fairs anymore, but then I got contacted by Tom, and what it was, the reason he'd been selling these bots on the stall at the NEC is because he was planning on moving house, and he's got quite a sizable Transformer collection. He said around about sort of 600-700 bots odd, and he needed to slim it down so that he wouldn't have so much stuff to move, and he'd been trying to shift them, through selling them at the toy fairs. But now that it was getting closer to him moving house, it was getting kind of urgent for him to offload all these bots that he'd got, all this sales stock that he'd got. And rather than waste time, selling them off individually, he decided, as I was a mate of his and I was building up my collection, he decided to offer me his sales stock from his stall to sell on. And that's where the Tom Henson bot lot came from. You probably saw some videos I did earlier in the year, where I basically spent 850 quid and bought this huge lot of bots off this bloke for, about 200 odd bots for 850 quid. Well, anyway, my intention was I was going to cherry pick the bots that I wanted from the lot and then sell the rest. Initially, I did sell a bunch of them on eBay. Didn't do particularly well because the bots themselves didn't owe me much money. I put them down on a very low buy it now price, making like a small amount of profit on them. But then I had them on free shipping and buy it now. So when you take the shipping into account and the PayPal fees, and then I later found out that eBay now, instead of charging you listing fees, they now take 10% of your monthly takings every month. So you have to pay them back 10% of all the money you've gained through your sales on eBay every month. And yeah, so when you take all the fees into account, I ran at a loss. I sold all those bots at a loss. So, and it was so much hassle to flog the bots individually on eBay. I just thought, I can't be arsed with this. So the rest of the bots, about 190 odd, have just been sat in boxes up in the loft, doing nothing with them. And then I went to Roll Call a couple of weeks ago and caught up with my good mate James Lai of Me and Max Love Toys, and got talking to him. And when I told him that I'd still got all these bots, he suggested to me, he said, well, why don't you sort them out into a couple of plastic crates, and then you can bring them along to TF Nation, stick them under my stall, and I will sell them on your behalf. And I thought, great, fantastic. So all I needed to do was to sort a bunch of the bots, let's say price them nice and simply, like £5 for deluxes, £10 for Voyagers, fill 2 boxes up, take them over, he'd sell them on by my behalf, job's a good one. That was the plan. Then a week or so after that, I got contacted by James again with an alternative proposition. Now apparently, because he's a trader an official trader at TF Nation, he gets a couple of passes to hand out to his mates to help him out on the store. But one of his mates apparently, I think, had to bow out because he couldn't get the time off work or something. So James was a man down, and he had a spare dealer's pass going. So he contacted me and suggested to me, would I be interested in it? And at first I was like, oh yeah, it'd be great if you had a dealer's pass, because then you can get behind the scenes. On the Friday night you can get into the dealer room and you can walk around and look at all the other stuff. You can get, and maybe even do some early trading perhaps. So there are advantages to having a dealer's pass. But then I looked at the negative side, and if I'm going to have a stall, I'm going to be tied down to that stall during the event. It's going to be like a ball and chain around my neck. I'm going to have to be manning the stall through all the trading hours on the Saturday and the Sunday, and I ain't going to be able to go away and do all the other things I go to the convention to do, like go to panels, go to the bar, talk to people, go food and drink, just mingle, go around. I'll be tied down to the stall, and I won't be able to do all that other stuff. And so it got me worried, and I decided to decline his generous offer. Anyway, I had a couple of weeks off work a fortnight ago, because my car was coming up for MOT, and I had to MOT it, and as it happened it failed, and I had to get another car, and that bloody thing's costing me an arm and a leg. But we ain't going to go into that, because I've had a really nasty surprise for my new car today when I took it over to the Honda garage to get the emission sensor sorted out on the exhaust, only to find out that the front two sections of the exhaust are rotted out as well, and I need to get a new catalytic converter, a new downpipe, new sensors for the exhaust. Honda original part, £1,600. But well, like I said, I'm not very happy about that. But anyway, there we go, that's besides the point. I did sort out a bunch of bots, and then he called me up and asked me, because he needed to get my name and date of birth details to go for the dealer application. And I told him that I had my reservations and I didn't really want to do it. But then somehow James managed to talk me round to it. He got the gift of the gab, and he managed to convince me that it was a good thing. And he said, oh, don't worry. He says, oh well, you won't be tied down to your store. We will look after your store, and you can go off and do other things. So long as you return the favour when we want to go off and do something, you'll watch over our store for us. And that's fair enough, I suppose. It's part and parcel of the whole point of doing a fellow stall with a mate. So yeah, I'm going to have a stall at TF Nation. I'm going to be a dealer, and basically what I'm bringing is about 80 odd bots. Like I said, I've got a box of Deluxes for £5, a box of Voyagers for £10, and I've got some minting box stuff which will be on top of the table, along with some of the bigger bots that I'm selling. I like to think I've priced the stuff quite fairly cheap prices. I'd like to shift as much of it as possible. So, and I will definitely be manning it for the first hour of each trading day on the Saturday and Sunday before I start going off and maybe doing other things. So if you need to find me, just find my stall. It'll probably be a table next to me and Max Love Toys or Dave's Corner. So look out for that. I will be there. So if you want to come and buy some toys from me, then please do. So yeah, that's my big reveal for TF Nation. Then let's get on to the other things. Right, what else do I want to do? Well, get stuff signed. I want to get some stuff signed. I bought this guy at Auto Assembly last year. Got it signed by Simon Furman. As Mr. Jeff Senior is making an appearance this year, I would like it very much if he could sign it below, seeing as he's one of the co-creators of Death's Head. And I'm kind of hoping that Jeff will have some prints that you can sign. If he's got a print of G1 Ultra Magnus done in style of, Target 2006, I'll be all over that. I'll definitely have one of those. But I'd like to meet Jeff Senior. So that's one of the things I want to get signed. Then there's this book I picked up at a car boot sale for about £1 or whatever it was. As you can see, it's by Simon Furman, illustrated by Guido Guidi. So I want to get both Simon and Guido to sign this for me. Then Nick Roche. Obviously well known for doing artwork for IDW Comics, but he also did this. Monster Motors. I've got the one shot and the Curse of Minivan Helsing, volumes 1 and 2. I'd very much like Nick to sign these for me, and hopefully I'll be able to get a bit of info as to whether he's going to be continuing with this excellent little comic offshoot that he's on. And I don't know whether he's there, but he has been at the last 2 auto assemblies. Chris Carter, the guy who does the old Loose Cannon comics. I'm kind of hoping that he's going to be there again this time. I don't think he is, but if he is, I'd like to get him to sign my Loose Cannon comics, which I picked up last year. And if he's brought any new issues out, I'd like to pick them up as well. So that's getting stuff to sign. There's a few other things I'd like to get signed. There's that, I can't remember his name, that Japanese guy who does the illustrations for IDW. Apparently he was the guy who designed Nickel for the IDW. Hopefully he'll have prints of Nickel from the IDW that he will sign, and I'll definitely get one of those done as well. So that's another sort of on-the-cuff signing that I'd like to get done. Not really bothered about the guests, even though they're pretty big guests. Maybe I'll get Richard to sign a print of Vector Prime if he's got one, because I quite like Vector Prime from Cybertron. He's one of my favourite characters as well. Not sure about the other guy. Anyway, that's that. Something else I'm going to be doing at TF Nation, and I did this at Rollout Roll Call. I bought what I refer to, I bought some take-along bots. Now, basically, if you are a subscriber of my channel and you watch my channel, you know that I have sort of do these Eastern Exotica reviews of all these rather unusual transforming toys from the Far East, most notably Korea, Korean transforming robot toys, or KTRTs as I refer to them. And I've reviewed lots of them on my channel. I've got quite a healthy collection of them this time. I'm bringing some of these toys to TF Nation. Now, I took some to Rollout Roll Call and showed them to a few people and got some positive responses. And I'm bringing some to TF Nation. Now, one guy I'm bringing, I took this guy to Rollout Roll Call, King Guys. Yeah, obviously he's a quadruple changer. He's got 3 beast modes and a robot mode. He's quite fun to play with, to change between his various modes. Very easy to work with. And I know there's quite a few people who commented on my review who are going to be there at TF Nation who I think might want a closer look at this. So I'm definitely bringing this guy along. Then, I don't know whether you noticed, but Ben's Collectibles did a review today on this guy. Matrix Monsters MMS-01 Fiery Dragon. Yes, I've got one as well. I got mine back in March and reviewed it. And I am absolutely tickled pink that Ben has got hold of one and reviewed it, because it makes people more aware of this toy. And I was going to bring this guy anyway. I was planning on bringing this guy anyway, but I've definitely got a good reason to bring him to TF Nation now. So if you saw Ben's review and you want to have a closer look at one of these, then I'm bringing mine. I'm bringing my Fiery Dragon, so you can have a little play with it. And he's rather splendid. I really like him. He's always on display in my room, no doubts. Yeah, so now as regards to the KTRT bots, I'm bringing a few others. If there is any, if you're watching and you've seen a review of a KTRT bot that I've done on my channel over the year, and you like a closer look at it, then put comments down below on a particular toy that you'd like a look at, and I will endeavour to bring it along. I'm bringing about 4 or 5 of them, but if somebody wants to look at a particular, Hello Carbot or Tobot or Byclons or any KTRT bot that I've reviewed this year, if you want a closer look at them, put a comment down below, and I will try to bring it along so you can have a look at it. Now, what am I buying? What am I planning on buying? I'm going to be Even though I've not got as much money as I would have hoped to have, mainly because of having to change my car, and my new car's costing me an absolute arm and a leg in repairs. I've only had the thing for like 2-3 weeks, and already I've spent hundreds and hundreds of pounds on it. So that's cut into my excess budget for TF Nation. But hopefully, if I can sell some of the bots that I bought along to sell, that might bolster my funds a little bit and allow me to buy a bit more later on. But there is a bunch of stuff that I'm going to be looking for. I was quite lucky, and because I went to Rollout Roll Call, I managed to pick up pretty much most of the Titans Return Wave 1 figures that I wanted. There was only 2 I didn't pick up at Rollout Roll Call, and that was Wheelie and Galvatron. But when I went out on my last drive in the Mazda in Hoss, I actually managed to work in a toy hunt while I was at it, and I went up to Smith's at Coventry and Toys R Us and managed to pick up Wheelie and Galvatron. So I've got those guys. So I'm pretty much done with Titans Return Wave 1. If there's going to be some of those Titans Return Wave 2 Titan Masters, because somebody had some at Rollout Roll Call, but they sold out on the Friday night. But if there's some more going to be available at TF Nation, then I'd like to pick up Ape Face and Clobber, because they look really cool. There's some 2 Combiner Wars figures that I still need to sort of draw a line under Combiner Wars. I need Dead End and Breakdown to complete my my Menasor. Third party stuff, there's obviously lots of third party out there that I want to get, but there's 4 third parties in particular that I'm looking to get. Ocular Max's Jaguar, especially if somebody's doing the repro labels for it, because it looks amazing with the repro labels. I want that. Now, this next thing, I don't know where, hardly anybody's mentioned in their videos that there's going to be 3 third-party companies having a presence at TF Nation. TFC are going to have a table on their own, and apparently Fans Project and Mackie Toys are going to be there at invitation of Kapow Toys. So you've got 3 third-party companies which will hopefully have displays of their wares at TF Nation, and hopefully they will be selling some of their products at the show. And I'm hoping they'll be selling some of their older products at slightly reduced prices, because I'm hoping to pick up Fans Project Function X Quadruple U and Code. And the reason I want Quadruple U is because I've decided to collect Weird Wolf. Yes, I do this thing which I refer to as character mould collecting. I like to collect all the different moulds of a particular character, both official and third party. I've got all the Huffers, I've got all the Skybites, I've got all the Skull Crunchers. I think I've got all the Cosmoses at the moment as well, but I'm not 100% sure. But because there's 3 new Weird Wolves coming out in the near future, there's obviously 1 official and 2 third-party ones, all of which look absolutely amazing. I decided, right, I want to buy into Weird Wolf. So I got the convention exclusive the other day, so I've started already. So I want to get some more of those. So Quadruple U is down on my list of one of the bots I want to get. Obviously, I want to get the G1 one as well, and that will do with the 3 that are currently available, and then the new ones will come out in due course. There's a couple of other G1 figures I want. Quick Switch, because I've got Mad Law, and I'd like to have him as a G1 comparison. There's 2 Dinobots I still need. I still need Slag and Sludge, so I'll be looking to pick them up. I'd like to get Hound, because I've got Mackie Toys Gundog, even though I haven't actually got him out of the box and played with him yet. But I want him as a comparison to the third party. And I want a G1 Misfire, because it's a Scavengers, for no other reason than that. But the main thing I'm going to be looking for is RID bots. And I'm not talking about the new RID, I'm talking about the old RID, the old Robots in Disguise from the early 2000s. I've watched the show again recently, and I've decided I want to basically buy the majority of the cast from the show. I've got Skybite, and I've got Ultra Magnus, I've got the Autobot brothers, I've got Megatron, But, you know, there's still a lot of bots I want to get. I want to get Optimus Prime, I want to get Gas Skunk, Night Scream and Slapper. I want to get the Bullet Train Combiner, Rail Spike, Midnight Express and Rapid Run. They're quite expensive, actually. Tow Line, Skids, Scourge, Black Repaint Laser Optimus Prime. Yeah, definitely. Now, I've already got the what's it called? Landfill Combiner, but it's the yellow repaint, and it just doesn't look right. So I'm trying to sell that at the show. So I want to get the original show accurate coloured one, and I might even pick up a spy changer as well. I've seen as Toy Fu had a bunch of spy changers at Rollout Roll Call, so why not? So that's pretty much what I'm looking to buy. Quick little message for Mr. Bisto Yeti, if you're watching. Don't forget the Red Hot. Yes, I've got your replacement Red Hot right here. I want my bot 400 back, please. So yeah, I had to put that in. Yeah, is there anything else? Yeah, what events am I planning on doing? As I'm going to be sort of doing the stall most of the time, probably won't be able to do as many panels as I want. Though I want to do the third party panel. I want to do the watch of the Transformers the movie if they're going to play it, because obviously it's the 30th anniversary. I missed out on it last year, you know, I want some of this. I haven't watched the movie in a good while, so it'd be fun to sit down and watch it with fellow fans who will be, you know, reciting reciting the whole movie word for word. So I'd just like to experience that, and I really want to do that, and that's happening on the Friday night, I think. Other panels, obviously the third party one. I'm not really sure. I haven't really looked into it. Might do the Rock Lords one. That looks kind of interesting. I'll just have to suck it and see. Obviously the panels don't overlap because they're all sort of in, you know, sort of chronological order, because it's their first convention. They haven't gone mad with, you know, lots of overlapping panels, so that's good. I'll just have to remember, set an alarm on my phone to remind me to go to certain panels, because I missed out on a bunch of panels last year and it was kind of disappointing. So yeah, there's that, and then there's the all you know, meeting up with the guys. I did quite well at Rollout Roll Call because I met John 35 and I met Graham the Collector 75, who is actually making an appearance at TF Nation, so look forward to seeing you again, Graham. I've met most of the YouTubers that I want to see, but there's one guy in particular, right, who's making an appearance at TF Nation this year, his first Transformers convention. Apparently he's only going to turn up on the Sunday, but he's turning up. He's a member of Transformers and such, and he's best known for his car booting exploits. I am of course referring to Mr. Gary Churm, Hot Rodney Prime. Yes, I really want to meet Mr. Hot Rodney, Hot Rodders, old Gazmeister. I want to really meet him, so obviously when I clap eyes on him on Sunday, I'm going to have to go in with a big old hug, I think, is in order. Definitely want to meet you, Gary. Definitely. Is there anything else I want to say? Again, I wouldn't say it's a fear, but it's a bit of a worry. Is again food. There's this this new entertainment centre called Resort World, which is, when you look at the map, you see you've got the Hilton Hotel, and then there's this lake, and then it's just the other side of the lake, so you have to just walk around the lake and you go to it. Now, I was looking on the website of this Resort World place. It's full of bars and restaurants, but I don't know whether you have to be a member to go there. It seemed to say like you had to be a member or something, or you have to pay some sort of admission. I don't know. I don't know how it works exactly. And looking at the menus on some of the restaurants that are in there, because I'm a bit of a fussy eater, you know, they're a bit fancy for me. Why they can't have like a Harry Ramsden's chip shop in there, I don't know, or like a Burger King or a McDonald's, or a Witherspoons even. You know, Witherspoons would be great. And I know there's one in the airport, but that's no bloody good, is it? Yeah, so I'm kind of I'd like to know for sure where I'm going to get an evening meal, because it was a bit of a farce at Rollout Roll Call getting the evening meal. It really was. And I don't want that again. And obviously I'm going to have to do it 2 nights on the trot. So, yeah, that if anything, that's a worry, a concern of mine. I've got some shorts this time, which I didn't have last year. I've actually gone out and bought some shorts, so if it's a bit warm, I'm at least going to be comfortable, a little bit more comfortable than I have been in the past. And yeah, I'm just hoping that I don't get too tied down to the sales stand, the sales stall that I'm doing, and be able to do all the other stuff that you go to conventions. So yep, that's been my pre-convention video. Make of it what you will. If you're you know, want to come up to me and say hello, then by all means do. I'm not really good at socialising. I'm a bit awkward when it comes to socialising. So if I seem a bit, you know, sort of offish or distant, then don't worry about it. You know, I can be a bit funny sometimes, because you know, really I'm a bit of a social leper. I don't socialise very well, but there you go. Don't worry about it if, you know, if you don't get an enthusiastic response from me if you come up to me and say hello. But I am open to other people coming up and saying hello. I'll, you know, usually be wearing a baseball cap, walking around. So yeah, and hopefully it will be a good convention. I'm pretty much fairly made up that it's going to be you know, business as usual. Might not be quite the same flavour as Auto Assembly. Then I've only been to 2 Auto Assemblies, and one of them was just for 1 day. But it should be a good convention. I'm looking forward to it very muchly, and obviously as of this recording this video, it's less than a week to go. So I will see you all there, and ta-ta for now. This has been TFR Wilderness, and I will see you at TF Nation. Ta-da.